I want to bring in CNN presidential historian Douglas Brinkley and A.B. Stoddard, the associate editor of The Hill. Good evening to both of you. You know, that's a good question, Douglas. Who else could do that? I mean, could any other previous president, you think, do that?
No, I think this is his forum. He's ideal for it. We've seen him do similar kind of stunts, if you'd like, for the White House Correspondents' Dinner. But every president has their forte. I mean, John F. Kennedy pioneered on how to do the press conference, for example. Jimmy Carter tried to do, in 1977, call-ins, people that he would take because talk radio was suddenly hot, and it totally went sideways on him. So in this case, I think this works, but it works because it's a bit novel right now to do it on BuzzFeed, February 25th for the Affordable Care Act's looming. If he does this a lot, it wouldn't be funny and it would start to become tedious and it might work against him. But for a one-offer, I thought this one was fine.
Don't overdo it. So, A.B., the Washington Post Fix blog has the headline, "Which image of Obama mugging for BuzzFeed's cameras diminishes the president the most?" And it ranked. And then, so do you think that this diminishes the presidency, A.B.?
Well, I mean, parts of it were obviously unrealistic. President Obama, although he's good at doing, you know, hip videos, and they absolutely knew which elements would make it go viral. And that helps you sell a product, and that's what he's doing. He would never practice a speech in front of a mirror, and it would never be dirty, and we all know that. So this is a master speech giver. He doesn't practice giving speeches in the mirror, but they tried to jam in how to up enrollment for the ACA by Sunday the 15th into this video in a way that wasn't overt. So that's how that was the technique that they used. The question is whether or not they've tried a whole bunch of things to sell this product, okay, Don. They've had Richard Simmons, they've done pub crawls, they've done a lot of goofy stuff. This is the first time that President Obama has, beyond the In Between Two Ferns appearance, really kind of made himself the center of it. It was a long video. There were a lot of scenes in it. Like I said, some stuff was goofier than others, but it's not something, as Douglas said, he should do often. And the question is, on a week like this was reportedly filmed the same day that the murder of Kyla Mueller was confirmed. And he is asking the Congress this week for war powers and ISIS as an ongoing crisis. So is this week, let alone Ukraine and everything else, the time to make this type of a video?
Yeah. Is there an issue with doing this video and giving them an interview? Again, this video follows the interview that they had, giving BuzzFeed that video. Giving him an interview.
Well, I think it's just an extra deal out of BuzzFeed. And look, Valentine's Day's here, and in this he shows him drawing a picture of his wife. I once edited a book by Ronald Reagan where he'd write these MASH notes to Nancy, and they went over exceedingly well. I mean, it's important for presidents to humanize themselves. Franklin Roosevelt famously made his dog Fowler a symbol when critics were criticizing his dog and did a whole shtick about that. So I think the key here is that it's a holiday weekend. It's a time for a little bit of fun. Everybody's going out tomorrow night, and February 15th is an important day for the Affordable Care Act, and the president needed to push it forward, and this is the way he did it. And the media hits getting 14, 15 million people perhaps already. It's worked.
And we're leading with it tonight at 10 p.m. on CNN. So, you know, it's working in some way. Let's show some other presidents here. Let's show Bill Clinton. We remember Bill Clinton playing the saxophone on Arsenio Hall show as governor. So people believe that sort of trailblazed this sort of thing. I don't know why they say that, because remember Richard Nixon in the 70s saying, "Sock it to me"? This just didn't start with this president, A.B.
No, and I think that it's true. If you are Barack Obama and you can do this, you can use it to your advantage, and I'm not opposed at all to presidents humanizing themselves. I think he will invite some criticism this week for some of the contents of the video, and just because it's sort of, you know, a little bit goofy, but also because it might not have been this week something to do amidst these crises just to get a few more ACA enrollees by Sunday. There were other ways he could have done this. There's certainly been many other ways this president has humanized himself very effectively. The photos out of the Oval Office with visitors are unbelievable, and they've released them regularly since he took office for more than 6 years. And I think the public really likes that. I think he should continue to do what works. But the jury's still out on whether or not this video works.
I don't see anything wrong with it. At first you think, oh, BuzzFeed. And then when you actually look at the video, it does humanize him, and it's not, you know, it's just good, clean fun. I mean, he's drinking cookies and milk. I mean, how much more? You don't get more American than that, right? I mean, a lot of people do that. I know our very own Wolf Blitzer likes cookies and milk before he goes to bed. AV.
Well, I know. Again, and it was self-deprecating, and he said, "Oh, you know, thanks, Obama." He's making fun of himself. I think parts of it were excellent, and like I said, they knew which elements would go viral. The music's wonderful. I mean, parts of it are really cute. I'm just saying that he's going to draw attention with something like this from critics about the context of the week. At the same time, maybe the rules of the landscape are gone.
Well, that's what I want to ask you about.
How
do Republicans compete with this with the election, or Democrats? How does anyone compete with this?
Well, they're not actually listening to ISIS briefings this week. Okay, this is a different, he is the president. He's not a presidential candidate. Now, that's just one point that I would make.
Yeah. I wanted Douglas to weigh in on that as well.
Okay.
Can they compete with this, Douglas?
Well, sure. You just saw a senator win from Iowa castrating hogs as her soundbite, and she's in the U.S. Senate now. All rules are off. It's a new media, a wild frontier out there. And candidates in particular are going to use whatever they can to reach people. BuzzFeed's the newest toy of the moment. The president made good use of it. I think we beat up on Barack Obama when he did the selfie at Nelson Mandela, his hero's funeral, and he took a lot of heat for that, which I thought was an awkward moment. But here you see him taking the selfie and kind of making fun of a culture now where everybody's doing selfies all the time. So I think it showed a bit of a self-deprecation, I was just said, but also a commoner's touch with it. And the truth of this will all be in the numbers of people that keep looking in on it.
Yeah, and this will be the next one. Hate is going to hate. YOLO, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. Coming up.